It is time. Time to answer another question from one of my viewers. Gonna have to make it fairly quick, though, because it's been a long, stressful day. I'm tired, and I'm looking forward to a little me time. And by me time, I of course mean video games. Oh yeah. The Earth is dying, and you are chosen to lead an expedition to a new planet. There are only 7 seats, including yours, so you can bring any 6 people with you. Which ones do you take to help build and rule this new world with you? Note, your family are already dead, and you can have an army of robots to do a lot of the manual labor, cooking, and cleaning. I would bring Shigeru Miyamoto, who is the, if you don't know, the creative mind behind, Mario, Zelda, Pikmin. He's a creative director behind the whole of EAD right now, I believe. Designer, programmer, producer, very, very creative guy. So I'd have him with me, and I'd have him bring his choice of 2 of his upcoming best and brightest proteges. Because I'm going to outlive Shigeru Miyamoto, most likely, unless I'm, hit by a rogue meteor or something. Man's in his early 60s, I'm in my early 30s, so he'll probably pass before me. So I would bring him, and he would bring 2 of his younger trainees, proteges along, and they could make video games for me. I'm assuming the robot army can, they design them, the robot army can program and manufacture them for me to play. Of course, we're also assuming that the people I bring with me would want to come with me. Their family's probably dead too, and they'd be happy to, do stuff for me. Shigeru Miyamoto strikes me as the type of guy who, whether you paid him or not, he'd be a very creative guy and probably make video games, so. And all the people I list are probably like that. So that's 3 right there. I would also bring Weird Al Yankovic, because he's awesome, and I really enjoy his music. So, I'm sure he would keep doing his thing, even if he were stuck on a remote planet with me and 6 other people. Plus, I'm a singer myself, so maybe he and I can be half of a quartet, depending on, I don't know if Shigeru Miyamoto or the guys or gals he brings with him sing, but could be cool. I would bring film critic Hulk with me, who is a essayist. You probably read his stuff at a site called Badass Digest, but he's also been in, I think, like The New Yorker and some other prestigious places. Just strikes me as an incredibly intelligent and interesting individual. Every time I read one of Hulk's articles, I think, I'd like to have a beer with this person. And I don't drink. I don't always agree with everything he says, but what I really like about how he writes is he almost always gives me a new perspective on things, a way of looking at something that I hadn't considered before, and that's probably the most fascinating thing you can do in your writing, which is why I like reading reviews that have the opposite opinion of what I may have. For instance, Seamus Young on The Escapist a month or 2 ago wrote an opinion piece on why he really did not like Resident Evil 4. One of my favorite games of all time. And I wasn't angry at him. How dare you not like something I like? He, and this is a sign of a good writer, managed to articulate in a clear and understandable way exactly why he didn't like Resident Evil 4. And while it certainly didn't change my opinion on the game, it gave me a new perspective, a new way of looking at it. Looking at it from that perspective, I said, interesting, I never considered it that way, but from that point of view, I could see why someone wouldn't like this game. So, Yeah. But I'm bringing Film Critic Hulk instead of Seamus Young with me, so just seems like a really interesting person to talk to. And if you're living out your days on a planet with population 7, probably going to want someone interesting to talk to. Which is not to say Weird Al or Shigeru Miyamoto are not interesting. I'm sure they are. And I look forward to spending the rest of my life talking to them as they make stuff for me. Because their whole purpose on this mission to the New World is to entertain me. Let's see. Shigeru, 2, Weird Al, Film Critic Hulk. One more. I had to think about this. And I pick Takashi Miike, who is a filmmaker. I can't say he's my favorite filmmaker. He's actually very hit and miss with me. But the reason I would bring him is because he is not stuck on one genre. The man, his filmography is very dense. It covers a lot of different genres. So he has a pretty good grasp of a lot of different themes and styles and genres. And he can also... The man makes like 5 movies a year. So I wouldn't, be sitting there waiting several years for him to make me a new movie with his robot minions, as the actors and, putting the film together. So you might be able to get a few movies out of him. So, yeah, that's who I would bring with me to the new planet after Earth died.